Hey, what's up? It's me, Mr. Mixed Media. Coraline is what I consider to be one of the best animated movies ever made. It is pretty much everything that you could ask for in an animated movie, from a story that's intriguing, characters that I was genuinely interested in, an amazing soundtrack, and gorgeous visuals. Released in 2009, Coraline was a movie that I feel flew under everyone's radar. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's not a movie that isn't ever heard of nowadays, but people don't seem to remember it as much as the other films by Laika Animation, such as The Nightmare Before Christmas, or to some extent, Paranorman. But from all the films I've seen from them, I think this is easily their best work. This movie was based off the novel of the same name by Neil Gaiman and follows the story of Coraline Jones, a girl who moves from Michigan to Oregon into a mansion-turned-apartment complex called the Pink Palace. Once she starts exploring the house after her parents blow her away like a speck of dust, she discovers a small door that at first leads to a brick wall, but later that night as she chases a mouse running out of her bedroom, the door is opened to reveal a mysterious passageway instead. As she follows the mouse through the mysterious passageway, she discovers another world beyond the door, except it's a lot better. Aside from the fact that everyone has buttons for eyes, I don't think that any child can claim to be as brave as Coraline is dealing with this. It's in this world that she meets her other mother and other father. They treat her much better than her real parents and are much more energetic, but problems arise and a sinister side to the story is revealed when the other mother doesn't want her to leave. So it's up to Coraline to figure out how to solve the problem. The Coraline book is one of, if not my favorite novel of all time, and Laika Animation is known for making some of the best stop-motion films in recent years, but this is what I consider their masterpiece. The animation on display here is stunning, folks. This is a gorgeous-looking film. Everything from the cloth to the characters to the environmental effects is animated so fluently. The voice acting is also superb. Dakota Fanning is superb as Coraline, and Keith David does an amazing job as this cat that follows Coraline around in the other world every now and then. But I think the star of the show here is Terry Hatcher as Coraline's mother and the other mother. She is fantastic and makes the whole movie a huge joy to watch. She's genuinely creepy as the other mother, and she's actually pretty unlikable as Coraline's real mother, which works for her character. Everyone else is also spectacular. The soundtrack is also extremely good and really highlights the rest of the movie in the best ways possible, jumping at the right moments and slowing down for the right moments as well. The film is also surprisingly dark, and I know a lot of people say that about a lot of movies, but this movie gave me some genuine nightmares when I was a kid. The imagery is dark, creepy, and very unsettling, so I wouldn't recommend this movie to the very young demographic. This movie has a PG rating for a reason. If I had to nitpick anything else in the film, I guess they didn't include some scenes from the book that I thought would have made really good creepy scenes in the movie. In particular, a scene involving the other father in a cellar. On top of that, there's a new character introduced in this movie in the form of Wybie Lovat, and I can't help but feel like he was a bit of a tacked-on character for the movie. Coraline herself isn't very likable at some points also, but I guess they wanted to capture the feeling of a kid who just moved all the way across the country, and they succeeded, but the issue I have is that in the book, Coraline was always portrayed as a strong, independent girl who could do nearly everything she needed to. I just feel like the two personalities don't mix very well. On top of that, she makes a cringy joke about Wybie at the beginning of the film and repeats it several times throughout the movie. As a last complaint, I guess I could say that the story does tend to drag at points, but all it does is lead up to the bigger picture at hand, although I couldn't feel like I was bored at some points during the film. Other than that, though, I can't see a reason to not recommend this movie. If you haven't seen it, do yourself a favor and change that as soon as possible. This has been Mr. Mixed Media. Be careful what you wish for, and I'll see all you ladies and gentlemen in the next video. Bye-bye!